Hello YouTube, it's me, Sleeving Beauty, back with my 1 week post-op video, and I guess I'm going to tell you everything that's going on. Now, if you ask anybody I know, they will probably be like, yes, she was extremely prepared. She had protein shakes that lined her counters. Like, I was there mentally, physically, just ready to get this surgery. And it works. It does work. The surgery works 100%. Now, me within myself, I had to figure out the difference between a craving and actually being hungry. And this week has shown me exactly why I'm addicted to food. I crave food. Not like chips and yogurts and snacky foods. No, I want like full course meals all the time. And now that my stomach is gone and I'm only on liquids, I'm still on a clear liquid diet, and oh my gosh, this has probably been the hardest thing ever in my life so far, and I am 31. So I've had 3 kids. I have gone through a divorce. I have been around the world and back. I have been a military wife. I've been homeless. And this is the hardest thing I've ever done in life. Not being able to eat. I am a eater while I cook. I don't know how that goes, but yes, I will taste, I will nibble, I will be like, this is good. I'm gonna eat me a couple of more of these before I make my kids' plates, and while I'm making my kids' plates, and while I'm making my own plates. So I am a eater. I will eat, and eat. I'm just an eater. I have Southern roots, so eating is something we do. I have Italian in my family, so eating is basically everything. You graduate high school, yay, we throw a big family dinner. We go out to eat at a big restaurant where we can eat. Every milestone. Birthday parties are at restaurants or hotels where we could just pick out. Everything. Baby showers. The best thing to bring to a baby shower is food. People don't even bring like gifts. They give you money, but it's like, hey, we're gonna bring the food and the drinks, and we're gonna be married because somebody's having a baby. So anyway, I am a foodie. I have been around food my whole life. I am a baker. I am a pastry chef. So I work around food all day, and it was nothing for me to be in my section of the kitchen and know people in the actual hot foods of the kitchen, and they would bring me things to taste. And I would sit there and eat bowls, like bowls of the puddings and the jams and the jellies and the things like that were actually going into my different pastries. And I grew up in a military family, and like meager beginnings. So the don't leave anything on your plate rule applied in my household. So as I got older, it was there, and I was just like, well, you can't leave anything on your plate. And I don't put that in my children's head. So they're like, okay, I'm finished. And I'm like, fine, get up, leave your plate there. Because I know my kids run back and forth and they nibble and eat. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Now I know that it's not fine, but still. And then I would come in as I'm cleaning up the kitchen and the day is done, and I'll be like, hey, they just left all this food on this plate. So I would go and I would start nibbling off of everybody's plate. And I felt like Helen Keller in the movie, just like going from plate to plate and eating off of other people's plates, and nobody's really saying anything. So yeah, I was one of those. Now that I am in my liquid diet stage, the first 2 days were fine. My first day after surgery in the hospital, right before I went home, I had no cravings. I wasn't hungry at all. They wanted me to drink and eat a little, like 2 ounces. So I ate the little bit of Jello they gave me. I drank the diluted apple juice that they gave me. Fine. No issues, no problems. I wasn't even really hungry. I didn't feel the hunger. And all I've ever heard on the YouTube channels from people, and I myself have to be like, hey, these people are months out and this isn't like their day 2 or their week 2. Sorry, I still have on an apron. Like this isn't their, they're not at the same stage that I'm at when I'm watching their YouTube videos most of the time. So when they're like, yes, I go all day and I will forget to eat because I'm just not hungry. And I'm like, wow, when is that stage for me? Because it seems like I'm hungry all the time. But I know my triggers. I know that when I'm sitting here at my computer and I'm looking through designs or I'm doing different things that I normally do in my house when my children aren't home, I used to eat. I used to have a bag of chips, or I used to make me a whole sandwich, or I would eat tomatoes on saltine crackers or something. I was always nibbling on something. Well, not nibbling. I would just eat the whole thing. So it was mindless eating that I was doing. And now that I can't do it, I realize it. I realize that I want crabs and I want lobster and lobster claws. I want my seafood back. I want my hamburgers back. And yes, my doctor told me it will be at least a year before I can have a really good steak. So that will probably be a whole YouTube video because I am a steak and potatoes type of girl. So it is, yes, 1 week out and I feel the gnawing sensation in my stomach where I'm like, ooh, I don't know where that came from. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need food. But I don't. I'm not hungry. I've drank my broth. I've been sipping my water. I've been trying to get my protein in. It's like an all-day sip-a-thon at my house. And I've realized that I don't need it. I'm not hungry. I'm not, like, I'm full, but I'm not the full that I'm used to. I'm not satisfied. That is the word I was looking for. I'm not satisfied. I'm full, but I am not satisfied. And I am a satisfactory eater. I love to be satisfied. My food has to be pretty on a plate when I make it or when it comes to me. Like, I eat with all 5 senses. It has to look good, taste good, smell good. Even like just to touch it, it has to be like, oh my gosh, that piece of beef or that piece of chicken, it feels like it's done. It feels good. Like, I eat with all of my senses. So to be able to not eat, to only have clear liquids is such a downer. Oh, it hurts my soul because I, for a long time, was like, I'm going to be the next Anthony Bourdain or, Bizarre Foods guy or something, because I'm just going to travel the world and eat. And when, my husband was in the military, ex-husband was in the military, we traveled everywhere. And the first thing I would want to do was to find like a local bar and restaurant and eat local people food and just be like, ooh, this tastes so good. And now to not be able to do that, it hurts. Like, I literally my stomach will feel like it's about to fall out the bottom. And before, I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm really hungry. But no, I'm not hungry. It was the fact of the satisfaction of eating. The satisfaction of the ice cream. The satisfaction of just everything. The salads, the liquors, everything, the pastries. Just the satisfaction of those foods. When people talk about comfort foods, yes, it is a comfort to eat a good meal. So now I don't have that comfort anymore. And I'm just like, what am I going to do with myself? It's getting better. I still have crazy cravings. Oh my gosh. When I'm cooking my children's food, I'm so ready to nibble and suck and eat. And oh yes, I tried. I slipped up, and I was like, ooh, if I chew it and spit it out, it's not gonna hurt me. So I chewed up a turkey meatball and I spit it into a napkin and threw it in the trash. And literally maybe 3 to 5 minutes later, I was in the bathroom, like just on the toilet for a good 20-30 minutes, and it wasn't vomiting, it was coming out the rear entry, so exit. So I was just I was like, okay, I guess I can't do that anymore. And then a craving came back again when I was making my children's lunch, and I was like, ooh, maybe I should just lick one of these barbecue chips, not eat it or anything. I just want to lick on it and suck on it a little bit. Worst pain I have ever had in life. I've had gas pains. I've given birth to 3 children naturally. So this pain freaking sent me all the way over the edge. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I really cannot eat. I really cannot eat anything because my stomach is going to reject it. And my mother tried to tell me, because she had the surgery before, so she was like, you're not gonna want to try it. Like, you're gonna want to try it, but you're going to throw up, you're going to be really sick, you're not going to feel good, you're not going to want to move, everything. And I'm an active person. After my surgery, after like all the anesthesia and everything wore off, I was up walking around with a walker. I was ready to get moving and get out of that bed. I don't want my hair to fall out. I don't want a whole bunch of loose skin. I know loose skin is gonna come, but I don't want a whole bunch of loose skin. I don't want my hair or my teeth to fall out. I don't want my bones to get all brittle, and then I have to have hip surgeries and knee surgeries and replacements and just turn into like the bionic woman. I'm not ready for that yet. So I was up, I was walking, I'm ready to take protein, I'm ready to do stuff, and I know that I can't. So it's kind of like a catch-22. They want you to walk, but they don't want you to do too much. So it's like, I'm ready to be back into my active self. And New Jersey isn't really for somebody like me. I lived in California for 10 years. And I lived in San Diego, California. So there's always somewhere to walk. There's always something to do. In December, it's like 75 degrees. It's a festival. It's time to go out and party. It's time to go to concerts and all types of different things that you can find to do in the city. And it's relatively free. So I'm an active person. I like being out and I like being in the sun. New Jersey is cold 90% of the time, or it's extremely humid heat. Not like a nice calm desert heat. It's humid and it's killer. So you don't want to walk around when you feel sticky and you just feel like blah, because you can't really breathe because it's so thick outside.